It was just another busy afternoon until Officer Daniels snapped. A small scratch on the patrol car, an old man reversing too fast, and in seconds anger took over. Daniels slammed the door and yelled, "You blind old man! This is police property!" His voice echoed through the street. People stopped. Cameras came up. The man trembled, words lost behind fear. Inside the cruiser, Officer Ruiz froze. He'd seen tough days before, but not this. He watched as the badge meant for protection became a symbol of fear. And in that moment, Ruiz knew, if he stayed silent now, he'd lose something far greater than a partner. He'd lose his own conscience, summoning every ounce of courage. Officer Ruiz called out, "Daniels, stop! This isn't how we handle things." His voice broke through the tension, startling the gathered crowd. The elderly man took a small step back, eyes wide with confusion and fear, while Daniel's face twisted in disbelief. Around them, whispers arose among the spectators, their phones capturing the unfolding drama. Ruiz felt his heart racing as he stepped closer, knowing that this confrontation could define not just the day, but their entire careers. "You're supposed to protect, not threaten," he pleaded, feeling the weight of every pair of eyes fixated on them. Ruiz stepped out calm as stone. He walked between Daniels and the old man. No shouting, no aggression. "Sir, are you okay?" he asked softly. Then turning to his partner, he said in a low, steady voice, "Daniels, take a breath. It's just paint. He made a mistake. We all do." The air went still. Even the crowd fell silent. The old man's eyes softened with relief. Ruiz filled out a quick note, smiled and told him he could go. Daniels stood frozen, not from embarrassment but realization. Ruiz hadn't undermined him. He'd just shown what real authority looked like. Calm, kind and in control. Sometimes correction isn't loud. It's quiet, but it hits the heart harder than a shout ever could. As the old man walked away, Ruiz remained standing confidently, with a soft smile observing the moment. Daniels looked conflicted, pondering the lesson he just witnessed. The crowd began to disperse slowly, some nodding in appreciation of Ruiz's calm demeanor, while others shared quiet conversations about the situation. The drive back to the station was wordless. Finally, Ruiz asked, "You've never lost it like that before. What happened?" Daniels sighed, his voice breaking. "My wife's sick. The bills, the pressure, the hours. I'm just done, man." He stared out the window, ashamed. Ruiz nodded slowly. "I get it," he said. "But remember, you can't bleed on people who didn't cut you." Daniels looked at him silent. He realized he hadn't been angry at the old man. He'd been angry at life, at pain, at everything he couldn't control. And today, he'd let it spill onto someone who didn't deserve it. Sometimes the strongest men are the ones fighting invisible battles. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows, silence enveloped them. Ruiz focused on the road, sensing the storm of emotions swirling within his partner. The weight of unspoken words hung heavy in the air, a palpable reminder of their shared struggles. Daniels wrestled with his thoughts, questioning how he could be so weak in the midst of so much chaos. He felt the pain of responsibility anchoring him down an invisible chain forged by worry and fear. Ruiz broke the silence again, softer this time. "You know it's okay to feel overwhelmed." His voice was like a lifeline, offering understanding without judgment. Daniels nodded, grateful for the support, yet still grappling with his own turmoil. In that moment, they drove on two men bound by unseen scars, battling their worlds together. Later that evening, Daniels stood before a cracked mirror in the locker room. The badge on his chest gleamed, but his reflection didn't. He could still see the fear in that old man's eyes. Ruiz walked in quietly, handing him a bottle of water. "You did wrong today," he said, "but what matters is what you do next." Daniels nodded, his throat tight. He sat down, pulled out his phone and typed a message. A full apology, no excuses, no justifications. He hit send. Then he wrote his own misconduct report, not because anyone asked him to, but because that was the only way to make peace with the man in the mirror, As Daniels pressed the send button, a wave of relief washed over him, but it was quickly replaced by the weight of his actions. The locker room felt heavy with unspoken words and unresolved guilt. With each breath, he tried to shake off the doubt that lingered, yet it clung stubbornly. Ruiz, noticing the change in atmosphere, approached him again, offering a reassuring nod, silently encouraging him to move forward. Daniels took a deep breath, realizing that this was just the beginning of his journey to forgiveness, not only from others, but from himself. The next morning, Ruiz found Daniels already waiting by the patrol car. He looked tired but lighter. "I called him," Daniels said quietly. "The old man. I apologized." Ruiz smiled faintly. "That takes more courage than shouting ever will." The sun rose behind them as they drove off, the city waking up to a new day, and Daniels waking up to a new version of himself. He touched the badge on his chest, and for the first time, it didn't feel like authority. It felt like responsibility. Because the badge may be made of metal, but its true weight comes from the heart that carries it. Power isn't about control, it's about compassion. The badge shines brightest when it reflects humanity. They drove through the quiet streets, the stillness broken only by the soft hum of the engine. Thoughts raced through Daniel's mind, reflecting on his past decisions and the path he was now choosing. As the shadows receded with the rising sun, he felt a sense of peace settle within him. Each passing building and familiar corner whispered stories of the lives he had touched and those yet to be changed. With every heartbeat, he realized that today was more than just another shift. It was a chance to truly serve, to embody the values he once took for granted. The badge on his chest was no longer merely a symbol of authority. It represented understanding, empathy, and the willingness to make a difference.